Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Monday. It is Monday, December 1st. We're in the final month of 2025. What a year it has been. Almost at the finish line. Welcome to another episode of Monday Evening Quarterback. My name is Christian Simpson. I am the creator, I'm the founder, I'm the NFL and college football analyst. I'm a blogger, I'm a radio contributor, I am a just an overall fan and a junkie of the sport. Love the game of football. I have since I was about 6 or 7 years old, and I'm just so thankful and so blessed that I'm able to talk about it with you. Welcome to another episode of Monday Evening Quarterback. TJ Hopkins is going to join me later on to discuss all things football. I got another jam-packed show for you. I hope you had a great holiday with your family, your friends, your loved ones, whoever you celebrated it with. And let me be the first to wish you a very early Merry Christmas. Just can't believe it's that time of the year. But I love this time of this. I love this time, with Christmas around the corner, and my sister's birthday is around the corner. Um, some other people I know celebrating some birthdays in December, so happy early birthday to you all. If you've been following along from the get-go, as always, thank you. I hope you're well, and if this is your first time tuning in, and you were referred to me, one, thank you for taking the referral, and two, thank you to whoever referred you to me. Yeah, it's another jam-packed show. The regular season of college football is officially in the books. I can't believe it. Just seems like we were just getting started. It was Lee Corso's final college game day, and look at where we are now. Championship week is coming up, which is my absolute favorite Saturday of college football. I'm going to give a little breakdown of that and what's catching my eye with that, because we got two huge games this upcoming Saturday, December 6th. Going to talk about what caught my eye in the NFL. I'm going to read your questions, and then we're going to end the show. Like I said, it was rivalry week. A lot of bragging rights were on the line. Wait, before I even get into that, if you're liking what you're hearing and you want to keep up with us, one, subscribe, become a subscriber, enter your name, go to the website, which is thedailyblitz.blog, and enter your name and enter your email address. And anything I post on the site will be sent to your inbox. And if you're liking what we're doing here at MEQ, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. Like I said, rivalry week, college football. There was Texas A&M and Texas. I'm so happy they brought this rivalry back. Last year, their first time playing each other last year since 2011. Now that they're back, both in the SEC, why not? Who runs the Longhorn State? And I don't think Texas is gonna make the playoffs because they have 3 losses, including a really bad loss to an unranked Florida Gators team. But looking at this game, I just had a feeling Texas A&M was in trouble because the Texas Longhorns play really good defense. And look, the stat line may not be the greatest for Arch Manning. 14 of 29, 179 yards, and 1 touchdown. The difference maker was Quintravian Wisner. 19 carries, 155 yards. He averaged 8 yards per carry, no touchdowns, and I have been calling for this all season long. if Texas can get the running game going, that's going to make life so much easier, not just for Arch, but for that offense. This defense was suffocating. They picked off Marcel Reed twice, 20 and 32, 180 yards passing, and he was also their leading rusher. And Texas did a really good job of keeping Casey Concepcion in check, held him under 100 yards, and Mario Crava under 100 yards. KC had 57 yards receiving, and Mario had 5 receptions for 44 yards receiving. So to me, it sounds like when either one of those guys had the ball, that they were brought down immediately. You know, receivers like that, once they catch the ball, they move so fluidly in space. Texas did win this game 27-17. A lot of people thought I was crazy for picking the Texas Longhorns, but it's just something about the matchup. The Longhorns will get a bowl game without question, but the playoffs, nah, I just don't see it. Can't wait to see what they do next year. You know, Jack Endries was the leading receiver for Texas, 4 receptions, 93 yards, averaged almost 24 yards per catch. The Aggies just didn't have it, and anybody can be beat. Good old clean fashion hate. Georgia Tech. Georgia just escaped with a 16-9 victory. Nate Frazier, they've really been getting him going for the Bulldogs. 16 carries, 108 yards. Gunnar Stockton, 11-21, 70 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And Haynes King for Georgia Tech was kept in check. I didn't mean to rhyme there. 19-27, 181 yards, and no touchdowns with 1 interception. Of course, he was also the leading rusher, 39 yards. So Georgia clinched a spot in the SEC championship game, which is pretty much going to be a de facto home game for them. Ole Miss won the Egg Bowl, 38-19. Trinidad Chambers, he's had an unbelievable season. 23-34, 359 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. And Kewan Lacey, who I think is the most important player for the Rebels, 27 carries, 143 yards, and 1 touchdown. I know a lot of the talk surrounding Ole Miss would be, will Lane Kiffin join? Will Lane Kiffin stay, or will he take the LSU job? And I think he's taking the LSU job. I just think that's too grand of an opportunity to pass up. And around this time of the year, this is what happens. A coach always seems to leave his current university and, you know, takes a job elsewhere. I mean, this is what comes with the territory of being a coach. Deion did it all those years ago, leaving Jackson State for Colorado. Brian Kelly leaving Notre Dame for Baton Rouge. How ironic. Just mentioned that. Lincoln Kelly leaving, Oklahoma for USC. It's common. But yeah, I think Lane's going to take that LSU job. Now, does he finish with Ole Miss? That's to be determined. Arizona beating Arizona State 23-7. How much do you? How about Texas Tech going into Morgantown and dominating West Virginia 49-0? They forget they had a game. Oklahoma survives LSU. John Mateer did not look good, but Oklahoma's probably going to get a spot in the playoffs. I think they're going to host the game. BYU dominating UCF, and we have that Big 12 title game. I can't wait for that one. BYU, Texas Tech. Notre Dame handled their business against Stanford. Miami handling their business against Pittsburgh. And here's one I want to talk about. Vanderbilt, Tennessee. Now, Ronnie and I have been back and forth. He's like the president of the Diego Pavia fan club. He still thinks Diego's going to win it, and I completely disagree with him. Fernando Mendoza wrapped this up after they beat Oregon, in Oregon. And, I've been asking him to give me a Heisman moment of Diego's, and he still hasn't done it. Vanderbilt did win that game, 45-24. Disappointing end to the season for Tennessee because things looked promising at one time. Diego Pavia, 18-28, 268 yards. He accounted for 2 touchdowns. He threw 1 and he ran for 1, and he also threw 2 interceptions. He was also your leading rusher, 20 carries, 165 yards rushing, and the 1 touchdown on the ground. If you were a Vanderbilt fan, you were rooting for Auburn hard on Saturday night. They were playing Alabama in the Iron Bowl. I've had a few opportunities to preview this. I remember when I previewed the Kick 6 in 2013. Alabama didn't like how they looked against Oklahoma. Yeah, they handled their business against, I think they played Eastern Illinois last week. What could they do on the road? This had trap game written all over it. You tend to get up more for rivalry games. Well, some teams do, because one didn't, and I'll get into that very soon. Sorry, that's my dog. Alabama's here was a scenario for the Alabama Crimson Tide. If they lost, Ole Miss would go to the SEC championship game to play Georgia. So Georgia was waiting for either Ole Miss or Alabama. Alabama did win this game, 27-20. I knew Auburn would play them hard. Ty Simpson, no relation, 19-35, $122, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Jam Miller, 15 carries, 83 yards. As a team, Alabama ran the ball for 158 yards. Ashton Daniels, 18-39, 259 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Look, Alabama can grind games out. So I'm not surprised they came away with this, and they were the better team. But give Auburn a lot of credit because they did play with some fight. So we get part 2, Alabama, Georgia, for the SEC championship game. These two teams know each other very well, and they have owned Georgia over the years. I think the only time Georgia's beat Alabama was that national championship a few years ago. Yeah, so that should be a fun one. I cannot wait to get my hands on that. And then the game, to wrap it all up, Ohio State, Michigan. I said prior to this game, Ohio State came in with all the pressure in the world on them. And I could understand that because they've lost the last 4 meetings, including last year's. And last year that was a shocker because I believe Ohio State was a 20-point favorite, and they ended up losing the game by 3, 13-10. There were 2 things that I was looking forward to in this game. Like, the 2 biggest keys were, could Ohio State start quickly? Because the last couple of years, Ohio State has really struggled to jump the gun and score. And when that happened, Michigan would settle in. They would grind the clock out, win time of possession, run the football. And then the defense would get settled in. And could they score in the red zone? Ohio State has the best red zone defense in the country. Ryan Day had never beat Ohio State until now. Looked a little sluggish in the beginning, but Ohio State did finally beat Michigan for the first time since 2019 when Urban Meyer, I believe, was still coaching the Buckeyes. Won that game 27-9. The game on Saturday I'm talking about. Julian Sand, he deserves an invite to New York. 19-26, 233 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and he did throw that 1 interception. Bryce Underwood, not a good day at the office, but then again, this is the best defense in college football. 8-18, 63 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 interception. Ohio State ran the football. And when they run the football, I think they're a much better offense. Bo Jackson, 22 carries, 117 yards. And Jeremiah Smith, did y'all see that touchdown pass that he caught? Go check that out if you haven't. And has some choice words and actions for Michigan fans. The funniest part of that game was when Ohio State's mascot wrote Ohio on Michigan's field in cursive and then crossed out the M in the end zone. Saw a couple of funny sayings and thoughts like on social media talking about he spent more time in the end zone than Michigan did. Yeah, it's petty, but it's not wrong. And Michigan defended the logo at the end of the game, so Ohio State wouldn't try to stick the flag in the middle of the field. I mean, if Ohio State did choose to do that, I don't think it really would have bothered me because Michigan did do that last year, but it did escalate in a really big fight. And someone on social media said Michigan defended their logo better than they played defense against Ohio State. Again, petty, funny, but it's not wrong. So Michigan Street does come to an end, but hey, they have won 4 out of the last 5 meetings. I'll give them that much, which sets up a humongous Big Ten championship game in Indianapolis. And I think we've been kind of waiting for this. Indiana, Ohio State. I cannot wait for this one. Yes, I will be previewing this. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think we have 2 of the best quarterbacks in America going at it here in Julian Sand on one side and the front runner for the Heisman in Fernando Mendoza. I mean, this is going to be another one of those de facto home games because the game's at Lucas Oil Stadium, the house that Peyton built in Indianapolis. Yeah, this is definitely going to be fun. Like I said, love championship week. Just can't believe the regular season is officially in the books. And with that being said, that's all I have for the college football portion of Monday Evening Quarterback. When I get back, TJ Hopkins is going to join me. We're going to talk about everything that caught our eye in the NFL. And believe me, a lot did. Down goes Kansas City. The Lions lose the season series to the Green Bay Packers, and it was a big upset in Baltimore. Don't think anyone saw this coming. And how about those Chicago Bears? I'm going to talk about it more when I get back. This is Monday Evening Quarterback on YouTube. I'll be back.